Welcome to the Crypto Prism channel. Yesterday, Bitcoin experienced an extremely tight consolidation. Price was ranging between $92,000 and around $92,600, a range of only about 600 to 700. Price oscillated between the 1.13 and 1.414 levels, then eventually broke below 1.414, followed by a break below 1.618, which opened the floodgates and sent price all the way down to the 2.618 level. At the moment, the short-term resistance is around $90,500. For today, the overall bias remains right-sided dot after the drop. We can see that price has once again entered an extremely tight consolidation phase. On the upside, resistance can be placed around $90,500 to $90,800. On the downside, the key support zone is around $89,800 to $89,500. We treat these two zones as resistance and support, and trade the right side accordingly. Whichever side gives the opportunity, that's the side we trade. Let's break this down in more detail. On the Bitcoin daily chart, we can also see that over the past few days, price made two consecutive pushes with long wicks, but failed to break above 0.886, which then initiated the move lower. As mentioned earlier, on the short-term time frame, the support zone sits around $89,800, $89,500, which serves as a minor short-term support. However, during the weekend, I generally don't recommend taking too many trades. Weekend price action is unstable. Avoid heavy positions because price often spikes and then pulls back quickly. All moving averages are sloping downward, indicating a broader downtrend. This already makes the market prone to further downside. So overtrading on weekends is not ideal. Although earlier this week, price did attempt to break above the MA5. The move was clearly struggling. Price bounced slightly and tried to recover, but didn't even reach the EMA7, let alone break above it. This MA7 has been pressing price down the entire time. Price never managed to hold above it. If Bitcoin wants to make a larger move higher, for example toward $100,000, it must first break above the EMA7 on the weekly chart and hold firmly above it. Only then can a larger monthly level rebound begin. But at this point, that hasn't happened. Price is still being rejected by this level dot, so heading into Monday, we need to observe how the weekly candle closes. At the moment, it looks like price dropped too aggressively earlier, creating a large gap from the EMA7. The recent bounce simply brought price back up to that EMA, and once it touched it, price got rejected again. On the daily chart, we can see price entering a consolidating downtrend. The KDJ has formed a bearish cross to the downside. The MACD is still fluctuating on the bullish side, but momentum is clearly weakening. The DFDA indicator has also turned weaker. The reason is simple. The previous weekly gap has already been filled, and there's very little new capital entering the market. Momentum is fading because of this. Under weekend conditions, I don't recommend having overly high expectations. In most cases, it's better to rest over the weekend. If you miss a move, you miss it. That's fine. Especially after the Sunday close, it's better to focus on trading during weekdays. Right now, volatility is shrinking, and a daily open is sitting below the middle band of the range, which indicates short-term weakness and makes upside expansion difficult. Moving averages are also stacked above price, creating layered resistance, making long positions much harder. You should wait for a clear breakout before taking right-side trades. Even around the EMA levels, the distance is only a few hundred points, maybe around 1,000 points at most. It's very possible that price breaks neither side today and simply continues chopping in the middle of the range. Looking at the 4-hour chart, price has been moving inside a small ascending channel. Bitcoin continues to oscillate in the middle of this structure. neither breaking up nor breaking down. Looking at volume, there's very little participation, clearly showing a lack of capital entering the market. To be honest, with this level of volume, price is very likely to continue spinning inside this range. There's no need to rush into trades over the weekend. Let's wait and reassess on Monday.